Welcome to this dramatic therapy monologue. Listen to this meditation with an open mind and heart. In between each part, focus on your breath. Start now by inhaling deeply through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. Then gently turn your attention to the natural rhythms of your breath. I want to begin by telling you something personal. I have carried a heavy resentment, dragging it behind me like shadowy chains. My lifelong mentor, the man who taught me how to worship, how to pray, how to live. Sometimes it feels like I stand here today as evidence that his way was wrong. My career is stagnant. My relationships hover on the edge of disaster. And at 3 a.m, I lie awake, blaming him. It is not fair. But the blame rises up all the same, unbidden, like a cold tide. I remember the sound of his voice. It was gentle but powerful, echoing in the linoleum hallways of the old church. He would put his hand on my shoulder and promise me I was on the right path, that I only needed to follow. And I did. I never asked, not really, why I had to take the path that he took. Maybe I was too desperate for someone to show me the way. Or maybe I just wanted someone else to carry the map so I could be a passenger for once. That is what I regret most, I think. The way I handed over my choices. So now, when disappointment nips at every ankle, I look for the one who led me, my mentor. It is easy, too easy, to think that if I have gone astray, it is because his hand on my shoulder was leading me in the wrong direction. I tell myself, I had faith, and he is at fault because he used that faith for his own ideals, not mine. I see him as almost godlike in his influence, as if he carved the trail himself, not just pointed to it. But the resentment curdles inside me, and something else begins to whisper. It tells me, perhaps the source of my anger is not him, not truly. Perhaps it is me. Perhaps it has always been me. After all, who chose him to guide me? Who listened to his words and put my feet where he directed? I had uncertainties, even when I pretended I did not. I had nights when I wanted to run, but I did not. I stayed. It is my choice that echoes, louder than any words he ever spoke. This is the crisis. I am standing at the crossroads of my own past, and all the blame in the world cannot shift the crushing weight of my decisions. There is a voice from long ago, my father's voice, or maybe my own childish voice, afraid and small, asking someone, anyone, to take responsibility, to say, "Follow me, I will show you a way that will keep you from pain." But life does not offer immunity from pain, does it? I see now how easy it is to beg for reassurance, to surrender power, because power and freedom are vast, and emptiness echoes inside them. I longed to be told I was safe, and I gave away everything for that comfort. If I blame him fully, then I must also blame whoever steered him astray, and that person, their own mentor. It never ends. If I trace the thread back through each influence, through generations and memory and myth, the burden becomes too great. There is no first cause. And if I insist that the fault ends with him, then what makes me so special that my own choices bear no weight? Why does his responsibility matter more than mine? That is a lie, and I know it in my bones. Breathe and feel the ache of this truth. I want to curl inside myself and run from this knowledge, but I cannot. My life is my own in all its broken glory. I am not just a victim, I am also an architect. My mentor influenced me, but his influence did not strip me of power. My yes, my no belonged to me just as his did. Nobody gets off the hook through influence. If I hold him responsible for his choices, even when others influenced him, then I must take responsibility for mine. There is terror and joy in that realization, side by side. Because if I accept that I chose, sometimes in moments of fear, sometimes in the madness of hope, then I can choose again. I can grieve for the years lost to imitation, and I can forgive both him and myself, because neither of us knew what we were doing, not always. But that means our lives can change. There is hope after all. In accepting my own role, I forgive him, and through that, I find a freedom I did not believe possible. The resentment shatters. I am left with something trembling and bright inside me. acceptance. Now, take a deep breath and let yourself feel what this might mean for you. Perhaps you have a chain of blame you carry too. Perhaps you believe that old wounds can only hurt and never heal. But I am here, raw and trembling, telling you otherwise. Let go just a little. Choose just a little. The future is unwritten, and influence only has the power you give it. There is room for forgiveness. There is room for change. Thank you for listening to my story. As you return to your own breath, remember that your power lies not just in what has been done to you, but in how you choose to walk forward. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth. With every breath, imagine yourself stepping closer to freedom. Keep breathing and remember, you are never only the product of someone else's influence. You are so much more.